Yo, it's KingsDecree here. Who we playing again? Dagon? I guess this is good enough. I don't want to start replacing stuff just to get worse. Maybe a medic? I guess that's good enough. Anyway, so the purpose of this video is I kind of wanted to just kind of like basically talk over this game about some pretty big news that Gwent just announced. The developers of Gwent CD Projekt Red. I don't want to die. Let me pull up the exact post to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Right. The Gwent Challenger Series tournament, the Witcher card game tournament, sponsored by CD Projekt Red. So it's a pretty big deal. This is kind of tricky. I think I want to try and weaken the crone there. I didn't weaken it enough though. Yikes. This is good enough. That's such a huge... I could have played that better. I think I should have just played the Drake. But whatever. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. So this tournament, $100,000 prize pool. That is ridiculous. I thought like this was some kind of prank. Like I checked to see it's not April 1st yet. 100,000. Not even games 10 times as large as Gwent are putting out $100,000 tournaments, and it's closed beta, no less. So this is a pretty big deal. The Gwent Challenger, it's your chance to play against some of the best players out there. Sign up and work your way through the qualifiers and face pro players in the finals. Pro players? Which pro players? There isn't any pro players. Sort of. So it's actually kind of a bit of a surprising list in my opinion. Not necessarily because it's a bad list, but because it's relatively unexpected. So, Noxious, I'm hoping I say that right, but Noxious, Kasem, Noxious, K is a member of Complexity Gaming. I believe Merchant just got signed on with Complexity for streaming, so Complexity seems like they're getting their foot in the door here with Gwent, making sure they're there. Makes sense. I can kind of understand. I've never heard of this guy, but I'm assuming. So he's a caster. He's a video streamer. Magic the Gathering. I guess that's why. No, he started with Magic the Gathering through Hearthstone. Okay, anyway.
Are you certain? I do it differently.
Sorry, I'm just splitting my attention between acts. You know what? What I should have done? I should have pre-recorded the game and then just talked over it. I'll do that next time. Whatever. The next guy, PDD. Never heard of this guy either. He's from Evil Genius's Dota 2 team and its CEO. Wow. That's pretty interesting. I've never heard of this guy because I don't play Dota, but it seems like a pretty big deal. So that's great. And just to put this ahead of the cart, whatever. It's awesome that they're bringing in people like this and having such a huge prize pool. It's going to get a lot of attention, and more attention means more people watching, and more people watching means, this is something, it becomes an actual, like something that's viable to do as opposed to just being a hobby kind of thing. As far as like actually like me doing this full time or what have you, because I'd love to. It's just kind of hard to do that sometimes. Anyway, on to the next guy, Life Coach, right? Life Coach, everyone, if you've been following Gwent lately, you know exactly who Life Coach is. He's the dude who is... he's the guy who made, the big switch over from Hearthstone to Gwent due to the issues he saw with the core design of the game. And he's been making some videos lately about it. I don't believe he was a caster or a particularly noteworthy Hearthstone player, but I think his kind of thing was he was very consistent and mature, which is awesome. He's a good face for the competitive scene, in my opinion. I mean, besides the metaphorical and physical face, it's a really nice beard that he's got. And on to the next guy. This is the big one, Trump from not TSM. He actually just left TSM, but Trump from Hearthstone, not again kind of with alongside Life Coach, not a particularly noteworthy player in terms of like big tournament wins, but a very consistent player. He's been playing Hearthstone for years, streaming daily and all that good stuff. Yeah, so Trump is a big one. I'm excited to see him in the scene. I wonder how much it's going to, like, I wonder how much his involvement is going to be, because I think I would be kind of upset if he just was in it for like the prize money. I don't think he is. I think it's just I haven't seen him. I follow him pretty closely on Twitter and YouTube. I'm a big fan of his, and I haven't seen any mention of Gwent at all. So I hope it's something that he actually sticks to. Is not just hey, let's get Trump in here. He's famous, right? I hope it's not like that. I doubt that it'd be like that, but it's hard to tell sometimes. So I'm just going to pass this round. I just really don't want to. I really don't want to have to pass, but I don't know. Maybe I can get him to use all of his cards or 3 of his cards, and puts me at least at some level of card advantage. Looks like his hand's relatively reactive as well, which is good. Good for me. Oh, still has to play another one. All right, that's exactly what I wanted. And I wouldn't have been able to react to these weather effects anyway if I wanted to. But anyway, so Trump, Life Coach, PDD, Noxious, the big pro players, the big, you know, the guys who are representing this $100,000 tournament. So it's 60 grand to first place, 20 grand to second place, 10 grand to third place. Those are some monster numbers. I keep thinking, like, are we talking like dollars? I'm pretty sure it's dollars. I know this company's Polish. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I haven't seen any indication that it's not the case. So yeah, 60,000 first place. That's ginormous. Like, whoever wins this is like, they're just like, they're gonna be a legend in the competitive scene. Okay, so the qualifiers, it's March 16th to the 22nd of March. This is the time when you need to get in there if you plan on joining the scene. But how do you get into there? How do you get in here? So it's 256 players are invited. That's the top 20. Yeah, that's the top 256 from ranked. Okay, I need to concentrate on this. So I get rid of that, reset it. I need to hit 6. Come on, man. I need to hit 6. Let's go. Oh, so lucky. Good stuff. So yeah, 256 players from it's kind of confusing, but basically it's 256 players from 2 different time zones, I guess, which is server side or whatever. And then from there, oh yeah, it's the top 256 players on the leaderboard, right? So you have to play to the meta and you have to rank up. You have to be in the top 256 players. This is not an open tournament where everyone kind of works up a very huge bracket or anything like that. Well, I mean, it still will be with 256 players on each side, but and these 256 players are running parallel to each other. Let's get another game going here real quick. And then from those 256, I'm assuming that it's a bracket system, and then the top 16 will advance from there. Yeah, 256 player tournament, top 16 advance, and then those players play it out, and the top 2 advance, and then the 2 players from each server or time zone, whatever, are going to play against the 4 guys I mentioned earlier. It's really oddly confusing. I'm not really sure why that is, but even like speaking out loud and having read it a couple times already, it's still pretty confusing what's going on. But basically, top 256 from a server fight their way all the way up to the top of the leaderboard. I mean, to the standings. And then only then do they actually get to meet the players. Which, I mean, do they really deserve like a ticket to the finals just because they're well known? I'm not saying like I could beat them or anything like that, but a little bit strange. So I actually just had to straight up rally here. It's kind of unfortunate. This is a really bad hand. I should have paid more attention to redrawing correctly. Okay, FAQ. I'm not participating in the closed beta. Can I still play in the tournament? Probably not. No, I mean, no, you cannot. There's no cover charge to play. Will everyone who signs up participate in the tournament? Not everyone who signs up will participate. After closing of the sign-up period, the highest 256 from each division will be selected to participate in day 1 qualifier. So yeah, that 256 is a single bracket. And I imagine if, you know, people who don't show up, they'll get buys or whatever. Will you inform me if I made it to the qualifying matches? Of course. Do you need GOG? Of course. Oh, wow. It's actually only PC, so Xbox Live players can't play. And if it's on PlayStation 4, I'm not really sure. I haven't seen a PlayStation 4 tag at all yet. Are there any prerequisites? No, you just need to be top 256. And considering, like, I'm sitting at, like, rank... I'm sitting at 1800 ELO right now. Which is pretty unfortunately low at the moment, but I'll get it back up. Hopefully after the patch goes live. So I'm sitting at 1800, and yet I'm still like 33,000th place. So that top 256 is gonna be pretty competitive. So unfortunately, you don't actually get to. They're not streaming the qualifying matches. It's only gonna be the top 8 players, which is still fine, but. Would have liked to have seen the entire tournament to see like what's it like for the not exactly top, but you know, that mid to top range. Are there more tournaments? It's solely on community engagement. We'd love Gwent to become an esport, and future tournaments are a possibility. That's kind of disappointing to hear. Oh, whoops, it's my turn. I was really hoping that I'm not really sure I get one huge $100,000 tournament, $100,000 tournament, and then 4 major people. I think it might have been better to introduce like a series of tournaments with 100,000 spread out over the whole thing. I mean, I guess this is like they're like open beta, call to action kind of deal. Like, hey, everyone, look at us, we're doing a thing. And, you know, $100,000 is going to turn heads. Trump and Life Coach and the 2 other players from different communities are going to turn heads. I get that, but I wonder what their meter for measuring community engagement is. Maybe that's just like a very PC answer. Like, no like we absolutely want to, but no guarantees. Or we are going to, but no guarantees just in case. That kind of like, you know, political speak kind of feel. Do you need to speak English? No, you don't. But you do need to understand the rules. Each deck... Wait, 4 constructed decks? Compete using 4 self-constructed decks each. That's a lot. Each deck must represent a different faction? Wait, so you have to play... 4 out of the... There's 5 factions, right? So you have to be able to competitively play 4 out of the 5 factions. That seems good, but it's still pretty early in the game's lifespan to be introducing such a very restrictive requirement. Huh. It feels like that benefits players who have full collections, maybe? I don't know, that's a little bit weird. What are the dates? Day 1 is... 8th of April. Oh, right. So March 22nd is the last day you have to be top 256 on the ladder, but April 8th is the first day of matches. And then after that day, the top 16 players from each will advance to day 2, which will be, the next day, 9th of April. Nice. So ESL is handling the tournament, which makes sense. I can't even think of like any other company that would even, you know, handle $100,000 tournament like this. It's 100% online. However, should you progress to the top stage of the tournament, you'll be flown out to Katowice, Poland. Nice. So I'm assuming it'll be like a live in studio kind of thing, which would be cool. There's some tournament regulations. I'm not going to get into that because I wouldn't even like understand it. What happens if it gets disconnected? The match, the match will be restarted. You can only apply to one division. Okay. So how about that? So Gwent, $100,000 tournament, and I'm probably gonna lose this game, so I'll just finish it out real quick. Ah, this is rough, and he hasn't even played his Axeman yet. I know he's gonna annihilate me with it though. Okay.
Are you wounded again?
So yeah, I mean, the tournament's a really cool thing to have happen in this community. I just hope it's not a one-off thing where they're just trying to. I really doubt that it is, but I really hope it's not just a one-time, like, cash grab kind of thing, which is stupid considering they're putting out $100,000. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's war. Severed limbs, blood, and guts.
I was hoping for a little bit more reassurance on future events and not just one really, really big one. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I was hoping for, like, you know, the whole Hearthstone, like, circuit system where they have, you know, like, weekly/monthly tournaments and then one big event at the end of the year kind of thing. That's kind of more what I was hoping for. I'm kind of curious. They actually haven't released who's going to be casting this thing.
Modern Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
But yeah, back to those players like Trump in particular. I want to go back to him because he actually just left TSM today. Oh wow! Did I actually just win that? That was really close. Oh no! Lost by one when I thought I won by one. Wow. All right. So yeah, that's the tournament. Very rambly, but you know, I love to just kind of talk it out.